gonna get on.
Okay.
Are you on now?
Yeah, I'm waiting on Mercedes.
How it was? Is her face gonna pop up?
Yeah, it'll pop up here in a second.
Why is over beside Ashley's head blue streak? See it?
That's just from the light. I'm blocking it now.
From the light over there. That was from the light.
Yeah.
Yes. It's probably,
It
from...
might be that one.
Yeah, it's probably coming from that one.
Well, that one's working right now.
Yeah.
So it's effective.
Hi! We're waiting on Mercedes.
That's what Ashley said. She said, do you feel, what did you say? Do you feel
Protected?
She asked me something. Do you feel something? And I said, I just feel clean.
No, I was like, do you smell it? Because when there's enough people in this room, because every time we have a meeting in here and everybody leaves and the air starts to settle, I'll walk in here and it smells like UV.
Yeah.
Well, no, it doesn't smell like UV. It smells like burnt skin.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what's happening is the skin cells that everybody shedded while they were in here, they've risen to the top of the room and the UV is burning it. So it smells like burnt
I
skin.
feel like I want to stand over there and get a suntan.
No, you don't want to do that.
I know.
No, you don't
Those
want to do
aren't
that.
real.
It won't. It will burn.
Those lamps are fake. If those were real and you were to look at them, it'd sunburn your eyes.
Hang on. Mercedes is on. Let me try and fix it to where.
What do you think?
Go. There she is. You need to add Mercedes. Well, won't let us add her. Allow viewers to be at request. All right, Mercedes, I made it where you could request to be on. So request to be added. For some reason, it won't let me automatically add her.
She has to request it.
Yeah, hold on. Cancel.
Look, it's Ashley's face.
Yeah.
Very close.
Don't make fun of my face. There she is.
That's how much a delay it is. Don't make fun of my face. Where is she?
Mercedes, for some reason, I don't know if there's something wrong with your camera, but it won't let us add you. For some reason. It's letting me add other people, but just not you. Maybe check if she's on the Wi-Fi or something. Is she on Wi-Fi or is she not on Wi-Fi?
I don't know what she's on.
I don't like hearing that whole twice. It's really weird. I'm asking her, actually.
Have her hop off and get back on too.
She said she's on Wi-Fi. Mercedes is here and say that. It's like Mercedes, she's telling Mercedes what to do and then I'm typing Mercedes what to do.
Hey. Hop off and hop back on because like I have where I can add people, but you're the only one I'm not allowed to add for some reason.
Probably because she's an admin
Yeah, it might be because she's an admin.
on that page.
Well, no, because well, that's true.
If she can't be on here, it's okay.
Maybe she can get on Justin's phone.
He's probably working.
No, he's not.
We're trying something new, so hold on, guys.
Yeah, we're trying something new. Hey, Mercedes, try. Oh, wait. Add Mercedes.
Hey guys. Hey, I see some of you. I see Vicky's right side.
You see Vicky's side?
Yeah, I don't see. There's all of.
Here's all the friends. You're gonna have to talk really loud, okay?
Yeah, as loud as I can. I got my headset in, so hopefully that'll help. Can you hear me okay?
Come on. You two and Mercedes know what's important.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You go. Yes, sir. She's a blur. She's a blur.
Sorry.
Okay.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Shake your heads if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. I think it's all right. Can you hear us?
Okay, 'cause it's kind of spotty a little bit. And then y'all say nothing and just stare at me. It's fantastic.
Hold on, I actually got to unplug something. All right. Okay, everybody. First of all, I want to welcome everybody to tonight's conference on the As you can see, Mercedes is not with us because he is quarantined.
Yeah, so much
We're
fun.
going to be fine. Everything's fine. I'm going to on that. You're almost finished.
Yeah.
But anyway, tonight I want to welcome you all to our Bible study. And I know that we would put a screen with Mark.
Hi.
And tonight,
Sorry, you're a little intermittent on the.
there's Liv, beautiful Ashley. She's on the outside for me. So, but tonight we have our guest tonight is for Jesus is uh, uh, um, it has Jesus' name in the the author of my book, uh, and, uh, that has, his like this and important to know tonight. And it's safe to do that because all the UC have run right. So, Kitty, what is actually what is so our
Hey guys.
yeah.
Yeah, you're super like the I can't hear you. Like I can hear you, but I can't hear you. I don't know if it's connection or what the problem is. I'm only getting every other word.
All right, well, we're shutting you off. Bye, Rebecca.
Okay.
We love you, but we don't understand what's going on. Bye.
All right. Bye, guys. Love you.
Love you too.
Y'all keep talking because they're not going to be able to know if y'all aren't talking. Okay. There was nobody with me for a minute. It was scary. Okay.
Oh, I love these
I was
people.
by myself.
I love these
On
people.
my phone, I was by myself. Vicky left me.
Never leave you, Courtney. I will never, ever leave you. I promise. I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, so anyways,
Okay,
your
so-
go-to verse is Matthew.
Chapter 10, 29 through 31.
Perfect. Ashley, can you read that scripture for us, please?
Okay. Wait a minute. 10.
29 through 31.
Okay. Aren't two sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them falls to the ground without your Father's consent. But even the hairs of your head have all been counted. So don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows.
That's really deep.
Yeah.
So why is this your go-to verse, Courtney?
I think for a lot of reasons. First of all, I think it's pretty awesome that it talks about how sparrows don't even fall to the ground without God knowing about it or it being part of God's plan. But also that if He knows the smallest things, like how many hairs are on our head, that why wouldn't we just trust Him with things going on? Like anything. I mean, that can be for anything. I go to this verse a lot because I do deal with a lot of depression, anxiety issues. So this is one thing that if I'm having a bad day or, really having a kind of a depression moment or a few days or whatever, I can read it and think it reminds me, why am I so worried about what, why am I so worried about the little things? Why, it tries to remind me that if God knows how many hairs are on my head, then what's holding me back from just trusting to make, that He knows what's going to happen. He already knows what's happening, what's going to happen tomorrow, next year, 10 years from now. There's,
Basically, it's all His plan,
Right.
no matter what happens.
Right. And He already knows. So if I'm going to sit here and worry about a specific thing, what good does it do? Because He already knows what's going to happen. He knows how it's going to turn out. If He knows how many hairs are on my head, and a sparrow, which Josiah and I talked a little bit about a sparrow, it's a very worthless bird. You don't eat them. You know what? I mean, they're not pretty. So a sparrow, they chose a sparrow to say that even if a sparrow falls to the ground, God knows that it happened. And then it goes to say, don't you know you're worth more than many sparrows? So
A worthless bird.
Yeah, a worthless bird that you can't even eat. So what's it good for if you can't eat it, right? I mean, really.
Do they eat anything? What do they eat? Do they eat mosquitoes?
Like
worms, probably.
Seeds and insects? I don't know.
So they don't even help protect
They're
us
needy
from those.
birds.
You're making me want to Wikipedia it.
No, don't.
They're needy birds that don't do anything helpful, and that's what they chose to use, and that's what Matthew chose when he, wrote it. So I find comfort in the verses because it just reminds you, it even says, like, aren't two sparrows sold for a penny?
Well, this is what this verse from from verse 5 all the way to the end.
Right.
is kind of like the go get 'em speech
Right.
that Jesus gave to the disciples when he was telling them,
Yeah.
go get them.
You need to do this, you need to do that, yeah.
Charge.
That's why I said chapter 10 in all, because I really like the whole chapter. But those specific verses are the ones that I go to.
Right. That's because it plainly states right here in 28, don't be afraid of those who want to kill you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But notice it says, don't fear those who kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. Rather, fear him who is able to destroy both the soul and body in hell. You know, it tells you, because this is temporary.
Mm-hmm.
Right here in this moment is temporary. So don't fear somebody that can take that away from you.
Right.
You know?
Right.
The whole chapter, I love the whole chapter. But I especially love, probably about 26 down to 31, actually.
I like 16.
Yep.
Look, I'm sending you out as sheep among the wolves. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because that's...
Therefore be as shrewd as serpents and as innocent as doves.
Right.
Right.
Get your point across.
Get out of there.
But get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Spread the word and keep on moving. And then, wait. There's another one in here. Hold on.
Wait, there's more.
But wait. Stop it, Ashley. Dadgum.
I also like the 37 through 39, that chunk.
Wait a minute. 37 through 39. I was looking at dusting the dust off my feet and heading out the door.
Dustin.
Yeah, because he says if he goes to someone's home and they don't want to listen,
That's up above 16.
then you dust your feet.
14.
If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, shake the dust off your feet. When you leave that house or town, that means leave that muck behind you.
Yep.
And keep on going to the next one. And then after you leave there, you go to the next one.
Yep.
And then after you get through there, you go to the next one.
Yep.
I want to say, do we ever stop going to the next one?
Mm-mm.
Do you ever give up?
Shouldn't.
Why is that? Because we fear God.
Right.
And I'll be one to tell you in a heartbeat. I was the biggest control freak, just like you. Because you said, why do I worry about stuff? Well, when you worry about stuff, you're being a control freak because you don't have control over that issue. And because you don't have control over that issue, and because you can't put your hand on it, and you can't do it, and you can't fix it, or you can't whatever, then it creates anxiety. And then that anxiety creates depression because you can't fix it.
Talking about control and stuff like that, I have a Bible verse that's written in my office, on my whiteboard in my office. And I have it written on there. There's a whole testimony behind it for the last 6 months. It's just kind of an ongoing thing for me right now. But, talking about, like sparrows, they fret, like these small animals, they fret all the time. They're always looking for food. They're always trying to take care of themselves. And it's one of those things that we always are fretting as well, trying to take care of what's topmost of our mind. We're trying to control the situations that are going on around us. And this verse has to do with me letting go and saying, God, all right, I'm giving you control right now. I'm going to pray this prayer every single day until you answer me. And then he answered me. And in the most clear, like there's no, oh, that was a nice coincidence way. I was like, oh, okay. And 2 weeks later. And so, but it's one of those things that right now is like anybody who is working with me, which is basically half our church at the moment, but anybody who's working with me right now here at work, they know kind of what some of the things that are going on here and why it's so turbulent and crazy for me right now. And it's very easy for me to forget that God told me, I'm in the middle of a miracle going on right now, and God very clearly told me, hey, I got this. I got this.
You need to sit back, Ashley.
You need to, well, it's one of those things that can't really sit back, but at the same time, it's like I'm trying to control situation. Like, we have God's blessings coming upon us, and with those blessings coming some other issues, and so I'm like, oh, I've got to fix this right now, and God's like, do you really think that I kind of opened the floodgates, and I've been like, oops, I didn't mean for that to happen. Kind of like the dad who just like, you know, throws his kid up in the air and he's like, oop, I dropped you. Like, no. So I have this Bible verse up to remind me, because it's one of those things, every single one of us have this Peter moment where God told us, hey, step out in faith, and we step out in faith. And even, it's one of the stupidest, craziest things. You know, a lot of people, they are hard on Peter because they're like, man, you were walking on water, you were going, and then you screwed it up. Then you looked up at the storm, and then so it was one of those humbling things for me the last couple months where I was like, people are really harsh to Peter, because how many times have we done the same thing? I'm in the middle of doing that right now, where I'm in the middle of, I am walking on water. And as soon as one bad thing happens, or
don't pull a Peter, don't be Peter.
But that's the thing, all of us do it every single time. Yeah. Stuff going on. Like the last couple weeks have been really rough on me, and so I'm pulling Peters almost every single day, where I'm losing my ever loving mind, losing my temper, and then I have to stop and be like, stop. And that's why I keep that Bible verse that I prayed written on my board. It's God, you know, me trying to remember, it's like, hey, stupid, focus. You know, God said he's going to take care of you. You're his child. He will even, like Courtney has with this verse, he even takes care of birds. He provides food for them. Proverbs, you know, it's, even the fields are clothed in great splendor, and the smallest of birds are taken care of and fed. Why then would God not take care of you?
Yeah.
So, calm down, stay focused.
That's what I have.
Keep your testimony. Oh, there you
That's
go.
That's the other verse that I have.
Yeah, not Proverbs. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the other verse that I also reference with this one that we're talking about in Matthew chapter 6, 25 through 34 is the whole chunk, but like 25 says, therefore I tell you, don't worry about your life, what you will eat or what you'll drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Isn't life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Consider the birds of the sky. They don't sow or reap or gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them.
There you go.
Aren't you worth more than they? Mm-hmm. Can any of you add one moment to his lifespan by worrying? Mm-hmm. And why do you worry about clothes? Observe how the wildflowers of the field grow. They don't labor or spin thread. So it goes on, and then it says, verse 30, if that's how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and thrown in the furnace tomorrow, won't he do much more for you, you of little faith? So, definitely. I think that's the verse you were talking about.
Mm-hmm. But that's exactly what I was talking about.
But yeah, I mean, it goes with the one that I chose for tonight. But I also referenced that one too. It's just kind of a slap in the face. If God's going to take care of the birds and the flowers and all of that, it even says, "You of little faith."
Like, but seek first the kingdom of God.
Right.
And his righteousness. And all these things will be provided for you.
Right.
I think, I need that on my wall.
Yep.
I need to find that and put it on my wall. Because so many times, even I myself, at the elder age that I am,
The elder age.
The elder. You're
The-
elderly.
the silvering age that I am,
Silver.
I have issues. I have issues with saying, okay, it's not up to me. Okay, I can't do anything about this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry to tell you, Courtney, but it don't get no much easier the older you get. But I will tell you, from experience, the more you learn to lean on Him, it doesn't mess with you mentally as
Right.
bad. Because our flesh takes over in that category a lot.
Mm.
And we don't want it to. We fight it off. We try to do everything we can for it not to. But there are many, because we fail every day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not, I sin every single day because I worry about something. It's a given. And the good thing about it is He already knows that.
Yeah.
And it's like, many years ago, and I'm not going to tell the whole story, but many years ago, I was in a bad situation. I was in drugs and alcohol and all kinds of stuff. And I knew I didn't need to be there. I knew that was the wrong place for me. Okay? And I prayed. I said, God, I know this isn't for me, but I don't know how to get out of it. God didn't just, He body slammed me. It was a body slam. To where I had no other choice but to get out of it. There was no other choice. So, if you're hard-headed like I am, and
I'm not hard-headed at all.
I think the Lord,
I work with you.
I thank the Lord that He knows where you're hard-headed.
Mm-hmm.
I really do, because He don't tiptoe around. Not me, anyways, not anymore. And I'm very thankful for that, because I probably wouldn't listen if I didn't get body slammed or taken to the woodshed, if you want to call it that. But I do know that He is very worthy of all the glory that He gets out of every situation that we have ever been in, or going to be put in, or going to be facing. Because the reason for that is because He knows every little hair on your head.
Mm-hmm. And He named him too. This is Roberto.
It's kinda
This
strange.
is-
That's kind of odd, because there's a lot of names there. But I was going somewhere, I forgot.
He named all the hairs on her head.
And He already knows what she's going to worry about tomorrow.
Oh yeah, there you go.
He already knows what. Thanks, Ashley.
You're welcome.
He already knows.
That's why David hired me.
He already knows what your worry's going to be. But the best news of all is He's already got it all figured out. So, you know.
Well, and one day I saw, how I wish I'd written it down. It was some quote thing on a page that I follow on Facebook, and it wasn't a Bible verse, but it was like Lisa Voskamp or somebody that's on there that does quotes for women, that inspirational quotes, and it had said something about something to the effect of, trust God in the situation that you're in. Don't worry about it, because you might be hindering somebody else for what, God might be using this for somebody else. So in other words, don't be selfish. Don't worry about it. Don't try to change a certain situation, because God might be doing something that you have no idea. So it kind of made me think, like, there might be a situation that seems really bad, or seems, I need to fix it, I need to control.
Yeah.
But what if that situation is being used by God to bring Him glory and to reach other people?
But the thing with that is if you try to do it with your flesh and you try to fix things and change things, He's going to put you in your spot.
Right. But also,
because everything's going to work out the way He wants it to.
Right. It is. But also, I think we all should think about that. Like a certain situation, and situations that are bad, we have to deal with, and they're bad, and a lot of them are really tough. But instead of trying to fix it, make it better, whatever, instead try to cope with it in the moment. Try to be there for people, for whoever's going through it. But also, remember that God's going to get the glory out of it somehow.
Well, because my story. The
Right.
whole story of Scott being an alcoholic and all those years that I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. But what had to happen was He had to break me. The Lord had to break me and mold me into who He wanted me to be before anything else could take place in my life. Before there was anything else going to happen, I had to be broken and I had to be molded like a lump of clay into what He had set out for me. And after that, because I'm going to tell you, I spent many a night just crying and not knowing why, Lord, why? Who am I to ask why? After I did that, I said, oh, you're so
Why? Yeah.
why did you do that? So, it's not always easy, but the main thing is that in the end, it's going to be gorgeous.
Right.
It's going to be beautiful because we're not going to be here forever. I keep trying to tell my children that, and they say, Mom, we don't want to talk about that. But, hitting the age that I am, I may not see tomorrow. But if I didn't, I would hope that my kids would be like, yeah, but we know where she's at.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We know where she is. And she's not having those times of going, I don't remember what I was saying anymore. Or the wrong word coming out. That happens to me a lot. So, you have another scripture there, I see.
There was one in Luke that, because Matthew, Mark, and Luke,
They were all present when Jesus was given this.
Right. So all the authors were, they were present. It's kind of, from their different views or whatever you want to call it.
12, 6,
so,
and 7.
yeah, Luke chapter 12, verse 6 and 7. It just kind of, I guess it kind of goes with the one that I chose. But I think it's interesting because there's some different words used. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of interesting that they kind of go together. It says, "Aren't 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies? Yet not one of them is forgotten in God's sight. Indeed, the hairs of your head are all counted. Don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows."
Well, that's just the different words are just because
It's different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke took it differently. I mean,
Right.
it's all the same, but
Right.
he heard it. For this book, he heard
I
it.
like how in Luke it says, "Yet not one of them is forgotten in God's sight." The sparrows, not one of them is forgotten.
Those worthless birds.
Those that you can't eat.
The worthless birds.
You keep talking about eating birds.
What do you?
She's from Arkansas.
What do you do for?
Ah.
You don't eat chicken?
I do, but I don't think of them
Are
as
they
a blue
birds?
jay.
Are they birds? Do you eat blue jays?
No, but
Okay.
still.
She eats squirrels.
Do you eat turkey?
Do not eat
No,
squirrels.
she does.
You eat squirrels.
I've eaten a squirrel before.
She
I'm
doesn't
not
anymore.
like, ooh, yay, let me go prepare my squirrel for lunch.
Okay.
She doesn't anymore because they're high in cholesterol.
Where is this coming from? I wanna make you some squirrel.
It's from a movie.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna bring it to you for lunch one day.
Oh, this is so much fun.
Shoot.
I love
Ashley,
this.
we're taking a trip to Arkansas, and you're going with me. You're gonna see the
Do I
country.
need a passport?
I love
Nope.
this.
You need a
feel
shot. You know, we'll go get a squirrel.
I
so we
need
can cook
my
it.
tetanus shot, don't I?
Nope.
Oh.
Clean fun.
Does your mama cook squirrel?
My mom. I mean, I'm sure she would, but my dad will cook squirrel on the grill.
You know I love your mom.
I know. She's on here, I think.
She's so sweet.
She is.
She's so sweet. Well,
Anyways, yeah. So
we just went we squirreled bad.
squirrel, literally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Literally. I just like these verses just because, you know, especially right now in a time with, I don't know, COVID-19, the coronavirus, everything's crazy. People are, you know,
The
freaking out.
bubonic plague's
Right.
coming.
And people, like, I know of people, they're seriously stressed, like, worried,
Oh, yeah.
scared to death. And I get it. It's a sickness. I get it. You know, whatever. I don't want to go off on it. But
I had it.
Right. And you're alive.
I'm fine.
And you're okay.
I'm fine.
People are getting it. They're not showing symptoms. I understand it's more serious for the elderly. It's more serious for those who have underlying conditions. I get it. But people are like legit, like Christians. I know they're Christians. And they're legit like stressing, worrying. I don't want to go outside my house. I'm scared to live. I'm scared to blah. And I'm like, you know, I don't get scared over the coronavirus like that. But there are things that I worry about and stress about. So that to them may be a huge, big, it could be.
So you get the
I get the stress, but
Right.
not about that.
Yeah.
But with these verses, like, you know, if it's the coronavirus you're worried about, if it's whatever, a sickness or whatever, God knows what's going to happen in the end. He's already there. God knows what happened before. He knows what's happening now. He knows how many hairs were on your head when you were born, when you're alive. I mean, He knows everything. So to worry about something is doing nothing, and it's making no progress for the situation that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, put your trust in God, put your faith in God, and don't only say you do it, but actually act like it. Don't walk around in fear. Oh, I'm scared of the coronavirus. Just put your trust in God. It's all going to be okay.
keep on
breathe. And breathe. Because God doesn't want us to walk around with our head hung down and disappointed and discouraged and whatever and worrying about stuff all the time. He wants us to live like we're free, like we're Christians.
And we're supposed to be spreading the gospel. And how do you do that with your head down?
Exactly. How do you do that when you're so wrapped up and worried about a situation that you can't change, but you can change how you act and how you spread, you know, His love and His word and how you treat others and how you, you know, witness to others and how you serve others. I mean, we've got people in our church now that, you know, hurting from cancer and sickness, and cook them a meal, do something like that. That's what I do. I like to do things like that in situations where I'm worried, stressed, whatever. Witness to other, like, you know, serve other people instead.
I'll tell you what is good medicine for people that worry and stress. And that is to witness to somebody else.
Yep.
Because if you start concentrating on sharing the gospel, and if you start concentrating on showing your fellow brothers and sisters in Christ the love that you're supposed to be sharing them, you don't got time to be worried about stuff.
I found that if I shift my focus on texting, you know, my friends or family at church, whatever, hey, how are you doing? I'm praying for you. You know, how can I help you right now? Let me bring you a meal. Whatever it is, if I focus on that, then all my energy is spent helping other people and being concerned about other people. Then I don't have to worry about
Right.
my own situation
Right.
or whatever it is.
You're right.
And I think we should all try to do better about that. I mean, there's so many ladies right now, you know, in our church that I know of that could use it.
Oh,
Whether it's just a text, a phone call,
we have a lot of women that are dealing with a lot of stuff right now.
a meal,
A lot of them.
you know.
And we have even more out there on Facebook that watch us that have reached out, and I'm very thankful that they have, because, you know, when you don't live, we're used to having each other,
You know.
I mean, I can call you or Ashley, I can call just about anybody in the church and say, hey, we need this, or I need this. Actually, I did it. Whenever this pandemic first started, we couldn't find any of Caden's milk
Oh, yeah,
that he
I remember
drinks.
that.
And one of our members that lives in Mississippi found it
Yeah.
and brought it to our house. Okay? There are people out there that don't have that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, with me being here, I don't have any blood family in a 4 hours is the closest.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's pretty much us. But our family at church is our family.
Right.
Like, they're our family. Yes, I have a great mom, a great dad, my sister's great. I have family members, and I love them to death. But where we're at here, they're my family. Church is my family. It's not my Witten family, my church family. They're family.
Right.
When I had my tonsil surgery, I'm sure you remember, it was probably 4 years ago or
Yes.
so. And I had tonsil surgery, and then on Christmas Eve night, I started having complications from it, and I had to go in and have emergency surgery.
I remember that.
And spend the night in ICU. Do you know who we called? A church member. Hey, Adam called him. Hey, I have to rush Courtney to the emergency room. I need you here to help with our kids. Within 15 minutes, we had a couple that came over to sit with Sophie and Wes while Adam took them. And then we had another couple come over a couple hours later and spend the night at our house on Christmas Eve night. Spent the night at my house with my 2 and 4-year-old so that I could spend the night in the hospital and Adam could be with me.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. There's so many people that are actually on and that watch these and that watch a lot of our stuff on YouTube and on Facebook that don't have that. And if there's anybody out there that don't have a really close-knit church family, our suggestion to you is start visiting in your community, because it is a love like there is no other. I mean, you have your family that you can give blood to, you know, the blood kind of family, but then there's this kind of family that the love that I feel like that we share amongst this family is
It's just like nothing else.
it's speechless.
Yeah.
There's not a word. There's not a word. So, but anyways, we have gone over, which is perfectly fine because nobody follows us. That's why I picked this time.
That's good.
I picked this time slot on this day because nobody else gets on the live. I mean,
That's
on
good.
on the public page at this time. So that's why we picked it. Because sometimes we go longer.
Okay.
So, but anyways, I hope that I want to thank you again.
Of course.
I've really enjoyed it. This has really been a good. And then Ashley had dinner here for us. Thank you, Ashley.
Yes, thank you, dear.
I would say I asked Ashley how much dinner was, and the way she said it didn't come out right.
Of course. Do you know who my father is?
She said a bushel and a peck and a kiss on the neck. I said, I don't think I'm kissing you on the neck, Ashley. I think it's a bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck.
Yeah, that's what it was. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, yeah, that would have been uncomfortable for me too.
But anyways, Courtney, thank you.
Of course.
I have enjoyed this evening. Ashley, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you, because you are beautiful and you're wonderful and you're funny. And we tried to have Mercedes on, but things didn't work out like we thought they were.
We'll need
going
to try it again and work the bugs out, because I'm
We
sure
will.
that was just a buggy
Well,
thing.
we don't have to do it again because she's going to be out of.
Yes.
And so
but
she
we could
can
have
just-
special guests in other ways. Like, what if we had Candace and Robert?
Well, shoot, Candace is going to be on.
Yeah, she's
Right.
doing one.
Is she gonna come meet you guys? Cool. We could do one with Robert.
So, but anyways, we'll work it out. We'll figure it out. I want to thank you again, and again.
I want to thank you.
I want to thank you
All right. This is sickening.
so much. Thanks, guys. This has been another wow moment. Have a great night.